Tanner Horner, who has been officially been sentenced to death for the murder of 7-year-old Ashley Strand. Let's get over into it and see what we can find out, y'all.
Everyone may be seated. Good afternoon. Mr. Presiding Juror, it is my understanding the jury has reached a verdict on both issues.
Yes,
Okay, if you'd hand it please to Deputy King. Answers to special issues. Special issue number 1, whether there is a probability that the defendant would commit criminal acts of violence that would constitute a continuing threat to society. Answer, we, the jury, unanimously find beyond a reasonable doubt that the answer to special issue number 1 is yes, signed by the presiding juror. Special issue number 2, whether taking into consideration all the evidence, including the circumstances of the offense, the defendant's character and background, and the personal moral culpability of the defendant, there is a sufficient mitigating circumstance or circumstances to warrant that a sentence of life imprisonment without parole rather than a death sentence be imposed. Answer, we, the jury, unanimously find that the answer to special issue number 2 is no, signed by the presiding juror. Does either side desire a poll?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Anderson, Mr. Goebel, is there any legal reason why sentence should not be pronounced?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Horner, if you'd stand, please. It's the order of the court that you, Tanner Lynn Horner, has been adjudged to be guilty of the offense of capital murder as found by the jury. Jury having answered the special issues, making it mandatory that your punishment be death. It is therefore the order of this court that your punishment be death. Before the hour of sunrise on a date to be determined by this court, upon a mandate of affirmance issued by the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals at the State Penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas, you will be caused to die in accordance with the rules and regulations established by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice until you, said Tanner Horner, are dead. Said execution procedure shall be determined and supervised by the Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. The clerk of this court shall issue a death warrant in accordance with this sentence directed to the Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for that purpose. Clerk shall deliver such warrant to the sheriff of this county and to be by him delivered to the Director of the Department of Criminal Justice together with you, and you will remain to the custody of the Tarrant County Jail to await transportation to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice at Huntsville, Texas, and the execution of this sentence. I will sign this death sentence as required by law. Your appeal of the finding of this guilt by the jury and their determination of the answers to the question in the sentence are automatically appealed to the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals in Austin, Texas. You will be appointed a lawyer to represent you on direct appeal, and your lawyer will receive a copy of the record of this charge, of this case at no charge. You have the right to have a second lawyer to represent you on writs of habeas corpus. It's a separate matter from your direct appeal. Do you wish to have counsel appointed for your writ purposes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will appoint you writ lawyers for that. Ms. Anderson, Mr. Goebel, if you will remain on his case pending his decision, and we have all the appellate paperwork filled out. I have received his acknowledgement certification of the right to appeal, and I appreciate you doing that.
The grandmother of confessed child.
Absolutely crazy. So he was officially sentenced to death. Gotta be such a surreal moment for both the family and for him. But let's get over into this video where we mentioned about his grandmother, who was the one who actually raised him, and how she felt about this whole situation.
Killer Tanner Horner described raising him and her own troubled family history too. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
I'm Heather Hayes. Horner is facing a possible death sentence for kidnapping and killing 7-year-old Athena Strand. Fox 4's Jan Anglin followed today's testimony that was aimed at drawing sympathy from the jury. Dion.
Hi there, that's right. The woman who raised Tanner Horner, his maternal grandmother, took the stand today. That testimony coming on day 15 of this trial. The punishment phase for 34-year-old Horner a former FedEx delivery driver who has pleaded guilty to the kidnapping and brutal murder of 7-year-old Athena Strand, taken from her Wise County home in 2022 as she played outside. Special provisions were made to accommodate Horner's wheelchair-bound grandmother, who gave her first name only, Jackie. As well, her face was shot out of focus. She told the jury she took over Tanner's care at her daughter's request because her daughter was battling drug addiction. The jury saw a few photos of Horner as a child. She testified about several incidents when Tanner, she says, was bullied. And under cross-examination, the prosecutor asked her about the days following the murder, when she sent her grandson a photo of Athena and told him to watch out for the missing girl.
He knows right from wrong, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He knows not to kill,
Yes, he knows that.
knows not to sexually assault a child.
Yeah. Totally shocked. I couldn't believe it myself. And it doesn't sound like him.
And correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to make clear about this. On the day after the offense, you communicated with him and sent him pictures of Athena, did you not?
I took a picture because it was on the TV. And I called him and said, Tanner, I know you're working out in paradise. Please look out for this little girl. She's missing.
This was after he already killed her and after he already dumped her.
Well, I didn't know that.
Well, you know now that was.
Yeah.
And what was his response to you when you informed him about this little girl missing and you sent him a picture? What was his response?
He's like, okay, I'll look out for her.
Now, before that moment, Horner's grandmother spoke a few words apologizing to Athena's family.
And I'm so sorry for Athena's parents. More than you'll ever know. We think about you every day, and I pray for you every day. I feel like there's nothing I can say to make anything better, and I'm sure there's not.
And the testimony wrapped up for the day after Horner's grandmother's testimony. There will be no proceedings tomorrow, and testimony resumes on Monday.
So, as we know, he was officially sentenced to death. But let's get over into the AI breakdown just to find out a little bit more about this whole case. So, as we know, on May 5th, he was sentenced to death for the kidnapping and murder of 7-year-old Athena. The jury deliberated for approximately 3 hours before reaching a unanimous decision for the death penalty. The prosecutor presented evidence that Horner was a continuing threat to the society, including graphic audio and video from his delivery van that captured the final moments of the attack. His legal team sought life in prison, citing mitigating factors such as his autism diagnosis, a traumatic childhood, and other mental health disorders. So I'm happy the jury didn't go for that. Because no matter what, he kidnapped and murdered a 7-year-old girl. You can't come back from that. I don't care what kind of diagnosis you have. And that doesn't get you out of what punishment you need to face. So Athena's uncle addressed Horn directly in the court, stating, "You will face the wrath of God. Her name will forever be celebrated, and everyone will forget you." So the incident happened back on November 30th, 2022, where he was delivering a package containing Barbies intended as a Christmas gift to Athena's house. He initially claimed he accidentally hit Athena with his van and panicked. However, investigators later determined that he abducted and strangled her to preventing from telling her father about the incident. The tragedy led to Texas legislating to pass the Athena Alert bill, which allowed authorities to issue Amber Alerts for missing children, even if kidnapping has not been officially confirmed. Makes sense. Makes absolutely sense. The whole situation is tragic, but he is sentenced to death. Now, some people will feel that the death penalty might be too harsh, but what are your thoughts? Is he getting exactly what he deserves? Would it have been better for him just to spend life in prison? Let me know your thoughts on this situation. And let me know how you feel about it, y'all.